today I'm going to be decorating a space in my home for summer using all of the vintage and antique equestrian decor that I've collected while out thrifting and antiquing over the past couple of years. If you watch my channel and my thrifting videos, you would have seen me collect a lot of these pieces. So I just have everything laid out. I'm going for an English country cottage vibe, not to be confused with Western decor. We're just sticking to like the equestrian riding decor. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's the two nosy dogs. Are you nosy? Are you nosy? So here's the space that I'm working on today. The majority of the decor will go in this cabinet, and then I'm going to do something like a vignette in the suitcases, and y'all have seen this space before. So nothing has really changed. I did change out the photo hanging on this wall for this little Lassie illustration that I found at the flea market, and then I also added contact paper wallpaper to the back of the cabinet. I had mentioned how I wanted to do that, and I liked this one with all the animals. I thought it would go well with each season, so I'll link that down below. It's from Home Depot. It's pretty affordable, just in case you're looking for something and you like this one. I've been having so much fun switching out the different hats for each season on this little hat rack. So for this summer, I'm going to do the equestrian riding hat or vintage riding hat. I have a couple of these, so of course I'm going to hang one here. And then I'm going to actually style this top suitcase open with a little vignette inside. I actually found this pillow cover on Amazon. It has this black and white horse illustration. I thought it was really cute. It is just like on a canvas pillow. It's not the most luxurious pillowcase, but I thought it was cute. I'll link that down below. I do have a English country like inspired Amazon board that you can look through, but I'm also gonna add this thrifted scarf. I just thought that added another element of like English writing. And then I also purchased this riding crop off Amazon because the true antique ones are way out of my budget, so this one will have to do until, you know, hopefully I can come across one a little cheaper. Now, this vignette is still in the works. I'm going to keep thrifting and shopping and antiquing, and if I find something I like here better, I will absolutely change this out. Alright, now onto my favorite part. We're moving on to decorating this cabinet. I do have this bottom shelf raised a little higher so that the trim from the door doesn't cover it up, so you'll see that little gap, which like I said will be covered up. So I have these books and I don't have the entire collection, so if I put the spines facing forward the numbers would be all messed up, so I thought I would just do the pages forward and then mix in a few with the spine showing. They're also red and green, and that was giving me kind of like a Christmas feeling, and I didn't really like that, so I thought just a few showing would be pretty. And then like I said, I don't have the entire collection, so I'm gonna add a picnic basket on the other side to fill in this bottom shelf. So I am going to be adding a ton of vintage books into this cabinet in general, but I'm going to focus them on the outsides of the shelves because the way the glass door is, it has that like trim around it, and it does cover up quite a bit of the shelves on the end. So I don't want any of my good decor being covered up, so I'm going to fill in that space with some of my vintage books. And I just tried to pull like a color palette that I saw often on Pinterest. I have a lot of equestrian or English country photos pinned on my Pinterest board, and I just went on there and tried to pull all the colors that I was seeing in those photos. Now I'm adding that little I guess it's like a corbel in the back because I wanted to add some warmth, but you really can't even see it. This is a English ironstone piece that I found years ago now. It still has the marking on the bottom. It was only $2. and it's easily one of my favorite ironstone pieces that I've found. I use it all the time in this cabinet. Now, only one of these brushes are horsehair, but I thought because of that I would go ahead and style these inside of the jar, and it would just tie in with the horse decor. I do have one vintage Black Beauty book that I wanted the cover to show. So I'm using this old wooden box to again add warmth, and then it's also going to help hold those books up so that I can see the cover. I just think it's so beautiful and I really wanted to showcase that. So if you watch my thrifting videos, you may remember that I recently kind of upcycled these horse trophies. I found the tops, the two metal horses, at the flea market, and they didn't have bases, and then I got lucky and came across these two wood bases at the Goodwill, and they just had little plastic pieces on top. So I went ahead and just screwed these in, and then I hung a horse show prize ribbon on the taller one. This is also another piece that I've recently found thrifting that I'm so excited to have found, because I have been seeing these at antique stores for $45 to $50, and I paid $7.99 for mine, so I'm super excited to have it. And when I purchased it, I envisioned it on some books like this. And then I love this little piece here. I got this off of eBay. And let's just talk about this piece really quick. I found this a few years ago at a garage sale. Actually, I didn't find it. He just said, "Do you like old Bibles?" And I hadn't even started collecting them yet. I was just like, sure. And he gave this to me for free, and it's easily one of the oldest things that I own. It's from the 1800s. As you can see, the cover is not even attached. I'm having to hold it together by twine, but I just love it. I use it in this cabinet all the time. I think it adds a lot of character and texture. In the center, I'm going to add some of my favorite things that I own. I don't have a lot of trophies, but I knew I had to include those in this cabinet. I am hanging a prize ribbon off of this taller one back here. And then this is actually probably just like a gift, a trophy gift for someone. I'm not really sure how to explain it. It has someone's name engraved in it, and I just filled that up with some candles. Alright, for this top shelf I added a framed horse print to the back, and then I wanted to show y'all what I was using to elevate this another riding hat that I have. Instead of using like an actual hat stand, I don't have a vintage one. I found this wood candle holder that I thought would work well, and then it did need just a little bit of more height, so I added a wooden spool, and that added just the right amount, and I think it looks so cute. You could also use one of the vintage tall spools, and I do have one of those, but I liked how this wood candle holder looked a lot better. I I had these 2 pieces left over that I still really wanted to use. It's a brass horse hook, and then the other is like a bottle stopper. So while this may not really make a ton of sense, I just went ahead and put them in this little sugar dish that kind of looks like a trophy. And I don't know, it's just fun to come up with different ways to display your collections, even though they may not be conventional. Over on the side here, I'm adding, you guessed it, more books. And then I ended up having another prize ribbon that I wanted to display, so I hung that on the corner of the horse artwork that you see here. And then last but not least, my most favorite item that I have found in a really long time. Isn't it gorgeous? Another vintage trophy. This is the only one that I have that is actually engraved, and I am still blown away by the fact that I found this for $20 at an antique store of all places. I'm not sure why it was marked so low, but I am so happy to have been the person to find it, so I knew I wanted that up here on the top shelf. And then I'm going to fill in the space a little better. I added 2 more silver plate pieces. These are actually little trophies as well for poker. I just flipped it around. And then I'm adding this little dog, and he's not a horse, but I think he goes along well with the English writing theme. And then I wanted to show you what I'm adding to the very top of the cabinet, this vintage doctor's bag. And then a couple of months ago, I DIY'd a prize ribbon because I wasn't finding any. So I used a vintage button cover for the center, and then don't look too closely because you can see all the hot glue. It's a mess, which is why it's going to be displayed high up where nobody can see it too closely. So here's how everything turned out. I'm going to give y'all an overview and some close-up shots so you can see everything in detail.